Stop scrolling through Netflix, here are 3 underrated shows you need to watch. First is Safe, and it stars Michael C. Hall, also known as Dexter. In the show, he plays a widowed surgeon that lives in a gated community when his teenage daughter goes missing. As he tries to figure out where she is, he begins to uncover secrets about the people in the neighborhood. Next is Behind Her Eyes, and I feel like this one isn't necessarily underrated by those who have watched it, but not enough people have. It has one of the best plot twists that I've ever seen in a TV series. It's about a single mom who begins an affair with her boss and befriends his wife. But it becomes so much more than a love triangle with a bunch of psychological twists. Last is Midnight Mass, which I feel like gets overshadowed by Hill House and Bly Manor. Don't get me wrong, I love those two, but Midnight Mass deserves more credit. It's a bit of a slow burn, but so worth it in the end. It's about a secluded little town that starts to experience strange things when a charismatic priest arrives. And it has a lot of religious symbolism mixed with some really terrifying elements. Let me 3 crazy and suspenseful shows that you should watch on HBO Max, or is it Max now? First is Sharp Objects, which is one of my favorite series ever and my favorite books. It's about a reporter who goes back to her hometown to investigate a series of unsolved murders of young girls. But going back also means reigniting her childhood trauma as she tries to piece together her past. If you're gonna watch one show from this list, pick this one. Next is Mayor of Easttown. It revolves around a detective played by Kate Winslet. She's investigating the murder of a teenage mother while also trying to keep her own life together. The story will keep you interested and it has some good plot twists. Last is Chernobyl. It's a historical drama about the Chernobyl disaster of 1986 and everything that followed. It's really scary to watch this and realize that it actually happened. Here are 3 shows on Prime that you might not have watched, but you should. First is Swarm. I recently finished this one and really loved it. It's about a girl named Dre who's obsessed with an artist named Nyjah who mirrors Beyonce, but her obsession soon becomes deadly. I thought the concept and creative direction of the show was really fresh and interesting. I also hope we're going to be seeing a lot more of Dominique Fishback in horror because she was amazing. Next is Outer Range, and I think this was a show that did not get the hype it deserved. It's about a family dealing with the disappearance of their daughter-in-law and the fate of their ranch, when a mysterious black void appears in the pasture. I thought the show was weird in a great way, beautifully shot, and had some great twists. I can't wait for season 2. Last one is Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't often share it on this page, but I love music and I can't stop listening to the songs from the show. It's about a band in the 70s that rose to fame and quickly fell apart. I also think it's amazing that the cast really learned to sing and play their instruments for the role. It's also loosely inspired by Fleetwood Mac. Here are 3 shows I've been obsessed with lately that I think you should check out. First is Yellow Jackets on Showtime. I'm late to the game on this show, but I started like a week ago and I'm already caught up. It's so good. It's about a girls' soccer team whose plane crashes on the way to their championship game. They're stranded in the woods for months and forced to go through extremes to survive. It cuts back and forth between flashbacks in the wilderness and the current day survivors. The casting is amazing. Next is Beef on Netflix. I just started this one, but I really love it so far. It's an A24 series about a man and a woman who get in a road rage incident and then their lives become intertwined. I've been seeing great reviews about this whole series, so I'm excited to finish. And here are 3 shows on Apple TV you should watch if you haven't already. First is Severance, and this is one of the best shows I've watched in a long time. It's about a dystopian society that takes work-life balance to a whole new level. In this world, there's a severance procedure that separates your consciousness between work and personal life, so it's like 2 different people. The ending of season 1 was great. Next is Blackbird, and if you're into true crime, you'll like this one. It's based on the true story of serial killer Larry Hall, and a man named Jimmy Keene who's a convict who goes undercover to secure his conviction. The acting is great and Paul Hauser's depiction of Larry is so creepy. The last one is Shining Girls. This one can be very confusing, but stick with it. Elizabeth Moss plays a woman who survives a brutal attack which causes her to constantly shift realities. Here are 3 shows you should watch on Hulu if you haven't already. The first one is 9 Perfect Strangers. It's about a group of random people who go to a health and wellness clinic in the hopes of healing and transformation. But the director Masha has controversial, maybe even dangerous methods. This is a mini-series with only 1 season, and I think it had a great cast. The next one is Cruel Summer. It takes place over the course of 3 summers and revolves around a popular girl who goes missing and a shy, awkward girl who seemingly takes over her life. I really enjoyed this one. It had some great plot twists and I'm looking forward to season 2. The last one is for my true crime lovers and it's called Candy, based upon the true case of Candy Montgomery. Candy was a housewife and mother who was accused of murdering her neighbor Betty Gore with an axe. I enjoyed this one, but for some reason the casting of Jessica Biel made me laugh a little. She acted the part well, but she was almost like too attractive to play the role. Let me know if you guys have seen any of these.